Welcome, social media. Hello, this is Beata Seweryn-Reid, and I'm so happy to be back. Yes, I took a little break, but today is my big comeback, and I have someone very special to introduce to you and share this beautiful event, yeah, about the event that we created because of that person. So today, our topic is I'm Unconditional with Michael Schoening. Michael, welcome to my, I don't want to, well, the first experience after my break. It's not the show. It's just a very special day for me because after a long time, I'm coming back and you are the first person I interview.
I'm so honored to first off be here and thank you for the invitation and thank you for so much. But also, I'm so honored to be here when you just came back. I just took a 2 month sabbatical from ministry and we traveled a lot and we did a lot of wonderful things and now we're back, as well. So it's wonderful to be gone. It's wonderful to be back, right?
Right?
Yes. So thank you so much.
And we're gonna talk about that, but before we're gonna go there, like why we need to take a break sometimes. But
Yes.
tell us a little bit about you. Who is Michael Schoening? Except that I know you say I'm husband first, minister, entrepreneur, but I know that there is much more. So I know you're a great speaker. So who is Michael Schoening?
Thank you. I'm still working on that every day, right? I think we all are. No, I think Michael Schoening is somebody who, instead of pursues purpose, pursues identity. I believe that a lot of people chase purpose and they're trying to, but they don't have identity, right? So it gets
Mm,
weird. Things don't fit correctly. But a proper identity means that a purposeful life is just a simply healthy byproduct. So, what is my identity? I guess is the thing, and this whole world with an identity crisis and everyone identifying as this or that, changing every few months. It's so important to know who we are, and then we'll figure out what we do. So, like I like to say, I'm a husband, minister, entrepreneur in that order. Why do I say in that order? Because, well, I have my wife Maria. She is from Ukraine. She's an absolutely wonderful woman who moved here with her mother and her brother with almost nothing in '96, and now she has a six-figure commercial cleaning company. She has done phenomenal, and she's my inspiration. She's the love of my life, and you've met her. Of course, you've had
yeah,
you've
I
had
love
chat with my
Maria.
wife.
Maria, if you
Yeah,
listen to us, mwah, love you.
thank you. I hope she does too. So she's absolutely wonderful person. She's an inspiration to me, and she's the reason why I go to work. So the second thing is the minister thing. So I'm a messianic rabbi. Well, what does that mean? Well, it means I get to confuse Christians and Jews both in the same sentence. That's what it means. So I'm the rabbi of a messianic synagogue here in Colorado Springs. They were around for 12 years before I came in. So now we're at 16 years, somewhere around there. Very involved in the messianic Jewish community, different events, and I preach about 60 times a year. I preach all over the country. Um, and I have a lot of fun. We have a big focus on helping people with emotional, spiritual, and mental health. As far as business goes, I'm an entrepreneur. And what does that mean? It means I start a lot of projects. It means I'm willing to do it, right? So I'm a trauma specialist, state certified trauma specialist. I'm also a licensed and active therapeutic foster parent. This is my fifth year doing so, and I work with the tough teens that typical foster care isn't equipped to work with, and so we work with them. We love on these kids, and we teach them entrepreneurial skills and proper identity. Also, I've been a kitchen designer for about 10 years. I've been a sales professional also for about 10 years. I do life coaching, sales coaching, business coaching, and I farm chickens in my free time, which doesn't exist. But as far as business stuff goes, I just love business. I love helping people develop business, and I love people. Because I love people, ministry and business really, really make sense. I'm also a published author. I've got a book launch this weekend in Denver. Very excited for that. I'm a award-winning national speaker. If you count Zoom, and social media, I'm an international speaker. And absolutely love it. Absolutely love encouraging, inspiring, and educating people on all different platforms. Like I said, I speak over 60 times a year, all over the country, mostly here in my hometown in Colorado Springs. And also the director of Unconditional.
Right. And it's where we are going. And for everyone who never maybe heard of you or met you, he can talk a lot. I can tell you. And
No.
that's why I love him. Anyway, I love that you mentioned identity because I think there is misunderstanding. We think about false identities, and we, of course,
Yes.
have them as well when we don't know what are they. But when I look at you and who I'm still getting to know as Michael Schoening is, like you said, person who loves people, and I see your identity as this. It can sound weird, but like this father that is coming and is helping the kids to grow, and your love for people is guiding you through life, and whatever you do is about to show people that look where I was. Nothing, not that everything was,
Sure.
beautiful roses. I had challenging times, but I overcome them, and I can show you how it helped me to grow. It's how I see you, and I don't know if it's the
That's
you
beautiful.
agree or
Thank you
not.
so much.
Yes. So, Michael, now it's very important moment because I want you to tell people about this unconditional. Like, what does it mean for you? And it's not just a word for you. And thanks to you, it's not anymore just a word for me and all these people that decided to join your movement. You are building a movement under the name of Unconditional. So why? What is the story behind that?
It was really about a year ago in February. Now, there was this time, of course, a year ago when people are very upset. People are going through crisis in their life. They're losing friends and family. They're losing their job, losing income, and they don't trust world governments anymore. They don't trust. They go to the grocery store and there's nothing on the shelf. I mean, this was heavy the last couple of years, and people were just lacking hope. And I am a very positive person. Even in the toughest situations, I've learned to just be a person of hope. But even myself can sometimes get in a low spot, right? Not as much as I used to, but I was in a low spot. And so I'm there and I said, I need to be encouraged. What encourages me? Well, I'm a bit of a nerd. So I love studying various different things on anywhere from quantum theory and mechanics to I just fixed my own water heater because I wanted to save money. And I knew nothing about water heaters a week ago, other than they're supposed to heat water when they don't. You call someone. Psychology, all these different things. So I love TED Talks because TED Talks are these small like tidbits of just awesome information. Whatever it is, you can learn whatever you want. So I love TED Talks. And then I watched this really long Tony Robbins thing, and it was a documentary called "I'm Not Your Guru," and it was just so good. And my wife had went and seen Tony for a week in Nashville right before the pandemic started, and Russell Brunson down there with ClickFunnels, and she came back and was very inspired. So I watched that. I watched some TED Talks. I was looking at through John Maxwell programs, and I was thinking about these business networking groups, and I was thinking, okay, so I was just working for a business owner. I built a company for him, a kitchen remodel company from scratch. We did $500,000 in sales the
I think we are losing you. Hello?
first year in
Well,
business.
okay, we lost you for a second.
Am I back?
Yes, you were talking about searching through John Maxwell leadership.
Absolutely. So I was looking through those programs and thinking about local networking groups. And I said, man, I love local networking groups. I love the Tony Robbins, the big motivational speeches. I love TED Talks. I love what John Maxwell's doing with coaching and speaking. I said, what if all of that was mixed together? So what would I want? Well, I would want to go to a one-day, all-day event with multiple speakers from multiple backgrounds with multiple topics. I want a session that's a breakout, but a breakthrough session where we get a more personal in small groups, not just from the stage, but also interactive. I want resource booths that are going to help me with business. I want to network with some of the top people in my area and people that I don't know. I want it to be inexpensive. I want it to be affordable, but I want mass value from it. And I want to be encouraged, motivated, inspired. I want to become more of an unconditional person and hanging out with unconditional people. And so I searched and searched and couldn't find anything that fit my very high criteria. So I decided to have the crazy idea to create it because I'm a creator. That's what I do. I love just seeing it's not here. So the book I'm launching this Sunday, I didn't find a book like it, so I wrote it. That's all it is. I said I want to write a book that I would buy and I would read. Some people buy books and don't read them. I do a lot of that. So I guess it's better than reading books and not paying for them. I don't know how that works, but I wanted to do something that was both. So I'm calling it the entrepreneurial empowerment movement. I believe that this conference, May 19th, will blast off into a movement that will go beyond Colorado Springs.
Yes. So we need to know more, not just this, but yes, it's May 19th, 2022, Colorado Springs, Colorado, in person. But there is a bonus for those who are around the world and can't be in person with us. So
That's
where
right.
they can sign up, like what we do for people that cannot be there in person.
We've realized that in the last couple of years, a lot of people have gone to Zoom and live videos and things like this, and it has become normal. And we want to use that platform. So we are going to be live. We're going to do a live premiere online, and all the details will come on where exactly that will be. And anybody who watches live or shows up live will have 12 months access to the video archives. You can rewatch this every day if you want. Maybe we should, right? Well, if you want to be really successful, you'll watch it every week, right? So anywhere in the world, they can watch it the day of, or if they can't, they can watch it that weekend. It doesn't matter. You have it for a year. And we've made that so inexpensive, so inexpensive.
And where we can find this information?
It's at Unconditional.com. So the letter I, letter M, Unconditional.com. You're going to see the speakers, what the speakers' topics are, some information on the speakers. Beata is here we go. I'm pointing this way out. Which way are you? It's right here. Beata is one of our speakers, one of my favorite speakers. I don't get to choose favorites, but speaking on be courageous and how to be courageous as an entrepreneur, but also in life. And I'm so excited to hear your story and how you exemplify that as well. So I'm Unconditional.com. You can get your tickets. It's only $97 to show up
I
all
want
day.
to highlight that, Michael, because it's very important.
Yeah.
Because I know that you were talking about crisis, and it's the perspective, but some people feel like we are still in crisis. At least some of us is in emotional crisis, just still dealing with what happened during COVID, the other stuff, economics, and all this personal. So I know that in different interview you said that you watch the world, you watch especially our community, Colorado Springs, and you decided that, well, I have to come. And you started it in 2021 when the whole idea came.
Yeah, a year ago now. So 13
Yeah.
months.
So then COVID came. So, but look, first of all, you didn't quit. We were
right.
all creating, and you reach out to a couple people. I was honored to be one of them. So this $97 includes so much that I'm like, he's crazy. But yeah, if he would not be crazy, he would not, pursue that
In the first
idea.
place. Yeah.
So you can be in person all day. We started like at 9 a.m., I guess. And there is how many of us? Like 10 speakers?
Yeah, so doors are going to open 9:30, and then at 10 o'clock we're starting the with the actual speaking. So we have our roster has been changing, of course. We have Frank Sinclair speaking on synergy, Diego Lujan, take action, Brandon James Kirk, be audacious, Jed Hafer on peace, Michelle Miraz on unapologetic, Craig Tomanini on be honest, you Beata for courage, Johnny Joy, be accountable. We have Dr. Rashawn he is in Maryland, and he just contacted me yesterday. Unfortunately, he won't be able to make it. So Robert Peterson from Denver is going to speak in his stead, and
Okay.
he's kind of going back and forth. So this is going to be a little bit of a surprise, but it's looking like he's going to speak on abundance. And he's also a published author. He was a pastor for 20 years. He's not afraid of the stage, and he's an entrepreneur. He just wrote a book called The Entrepreneurial Mindset, and I've asked him if he'll give away a copy for free. So we're going to be giving away copies. We have Michael Gravis, who's a life coach. We have Peter Lynch, who's a sales coach. They're going to be running the breakthrough session, and we're going to be giving away some wonderful coaching sessions, some books, some ebooks. We're going to be giving away my book as well. Just some really fun surprise
Right. So
prizes.
it's not like the traditional conference when you come, sit,
Yeah.
and you getting like fall asleep after 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah, it happened to me. It's like,
Yeah.
oh my gosh, I heard it all. It's boring. I want to go home. It's
Well,
definitely not that kind of
I
conference.
told you that I was being a little selfish. I said I want to create something that I would go to, I would pay for, and I would be there all day. If I'm going to be somewhere on a Thursday, 10 to 6, it better be good. I better be getting minimum $10,000 in value for under 100 bucks. I created something in a selfish way. And sometimes it's okay to think that way. That's the unapologetic thing, right? So that's part of being unconditional is it's not about putting me and my needs first. It's not about that. But it's about realizing that sometimes, um, as a rabbi, I teach a lot of tradition, but some traditions are just kind of need to be buried. And it's time for some new, fresh things. All of these talks are only 20 minutes each. We've almost talked 20 minutes now. So anybody who's watched this video, this podcast this long, they'll be like, oh, we have so many breaks. We have booths. We have announcements in between. We have a long lunch. I've been at too many conferences with a half-hour lunch. Like, are you crazy? You want me to still? You want me to?
But because we speak about lunch, Michael, I know that there is something special going on with lunch. Yeah, we have some, what do you call it? Help me. The people that will come and we're gonna have separate
Oh,
stations.
yes. So this is so exciting, and this is a very fresh, a very new thing. Many people have been at conferences where they had a breakout session. Well, a breakout session is where you typically there's people talking on stage, maybe there's some Q&A, but then you break out into smaller groups and discuss different things. We're calling it a breakthrough session. So before lunch, you're going to be handed a questionnaire, and you're going to write down some of the top roadblocks in your life that are keeping you from success and happiness in the different areas of life. After you're going to have that entire time for lunch, a couple hours to fill it out, really think about it. When you come back, turn it in at the door. And over the next few sessions, we're going to have some people in the back, Peter Lynch and Michael Gravis and a few other coaches. They're going to be going through these and categorizing these in a few different categories. And then we're going to go ahead and do a breakthrough session with the small groups. And we're going to we're not going to call you out. Hey, you said you have a problem. Nobody says they have a problem delegating, but a lot of us do. And so, you've got this issue. We're not putting you in a corner, making you feel bad. We're just going to put people in these different areas with different coaches, and we're going to go over practical ways on how we overcome those roadblocks. I want you guys to leave changed, empowered, with actionable steps that you can implement the next day towards your success. And if you want continual accountability with that, then most of the speakers are also business and life coaches that you can meet for the first session is going to be giving away a lot of first sessions. And then that's it. Then you can work with people on these roadblocks and really find success. But this breakthrough session, it's going to be intimate. People are going to cry. People are going to change, so we need to have an open heart, open
Well,
mind
when
for
we
that.
cry, we change. Sometimes we
Yeah.
are not able to cry because we were taught that crying is, yeah, it's the condition that you talk a lot about. We were conditioned that men don't cry or be a big girl, put your pants, yeah, big
Yeah,
girl pants, like don't be a little child. So they might cry, they might not, because they were told not to. So
you're right.
there are gonna be emotions, but I think the important part is that we have people who are working with that kind of stuff every single day. Coaches, you are trauma expert. Oh my God, we all have some kind of traumas, even if we say, oh no, I work it through. You know, I told many times to myself, oh, I work it through, and then life is bringing it back, and it's like, okay,
Yep,
okay, girl, you
absolutely.
need to really face it now. So
I love that you brought that up. So unconditional as a word, we don't say
we lost you again, maybe because we talk
childhood
about.
trauma in the
We lost you again for a second,
okay.
probably because we talk about, very tough
Yeah.
topic, and even internet is like, oh, I don't want to talk about that.
But it's crucial. We
Yes,
don't in the social work fields, we don't talk about childhood trauma anymore. We say early conditioning. I will tell you, anybody who's lived in the past couple of years that has been in business or ministry or otherwise has gone through crisis, has gone through trauma. And we call it, there's something that we call, when you can think about something you went through and it stresses you out and keeps you from success, gives you mental blocks, we call it post traumatic stress disorder, right? Everybody's heard of
correct.
PTSD, and we think of maybe it's just people who were in a war and a car backfires, they jump on a couch. No, it's people who went through anything they went through in the last couple of years. And so we're going to tackle some of these things because
Right.
it's not that hard to trace back that a lot of our mental limitations as entrepreneurs today are because of what's happened to us and because of us not dealing with it.
And I have to mention, because it's how I feel, and I don't know if you agree with me. When we say trauma, we always our mind goes to something really tragic, but it doesn't need to be tragic on the surface. Maybe you were watching something that you were scared or afraid
Yeah,
of in the neighborhood, your neighbor. It was not even in your house or in your direct environment, but it's somehow impacts you in a negative way. And very often we have to really dig to go there.
absolutely. And it's that digging that will be done during that breakthrough session. It's not just going to be sometimes people expect to go, they just hear people that talk about their perfect lives and how they make so much money. And if you just sign up for this program for 50 grand, then all of a sudden your life is going to be perfect too. It's not like this mask, this show we're putting on. And that's what's much different than a lot of the conferences that I've been through. But it's also not going to be just down in the dumps, sad and depressed the whole time either. You will leave encouraged, you will leave happy and inspired, but you will leave equipped. And that is one of the most important things. You will leave equipped so that you can lead equipped. There's a saying by a big preacher I've been listening to recently, and he says, when the leader gets better, the whole organization gets better. And this is the
I
best
love it.
investment you can do in your organization. If your boss doesn't see that, let me talk to them. But under $100 in one day to invest in the leader of your organization, you guys, this is phenomenal.
But let's also highlight that everyone is a leader. It's not that only for
That's right.
organizations, because if you have family, you are a leader. Or I often, when I talk to my client, I said, well, for example, they say, oh, well, I don't lead anyone. I said, really? Look in the mirror. You lead this person that you look at 24/7 every
That's right.
single day.
That's
So
right.
I just want to make sure that you all understand that every person who is watching it, you are a leader, because you need to take care of yourself first, and then you can show others. Yeah, it's
Absolutely.
always with you. Well, we'll be, I think we are about to end our conversation. And is there anything else that you would like to share with our audience? And please, because I might be wrong, but didn't I see there is $97 for the all day and all this coaching
Everything is
package.
under
But there is
$100.
also something for $25. What is that?
Yeah, so that's the live premiere. So that's if people can't
Okay.
show up in person, they can just watch live anytime in the next year for only $25. Really, really good price.
Yes, people, you cannot say no to that. I mean, if you really are serious about growing and
Yeah.
expanding yourself in life as a leader, we need leaders
Yes.
everywhere today, family, community, organizations, the healthy style of leadership which I talk about. And I just want to go back to this unconditional. Why I'm talking about courage? Because I had to build courage in myself to become unconditional in some areas of my life that were conditioned
Yeah.
by the people or circumstances that I came from.
That's
So
right.
I think everyone is going to share beautiful personal story.
Yes.
It's not to make you sad or excite you. It's to help you to take actions in your own life based on what we already tried. Because my mentors say, and I believe yours too, you don't have to reinvent the wheel. Just follow people who are already walking the same path ahead of you.
That's right. That's right.
All right. So we want you to remember, go to I'm Unconditional. It's I am, the letter M, unconditional.com. You can find more details, read about the speakers. Also, the date is here. It's May 19th, 2002, Colorado Springs, Colorado. And Michael, I'm sure you could, where people can reach you when they want just to say, hey, you are the leader there, so tell me more.
Yeah. So I check the Facebook page. So when people go to the Unconditional Facebook page, we could send a link or whatever works. I check those messages. You can go ahead and send me a message there. I'll check it. And if you want to be involved, we can always have probably have room for like one more resource booth. If you feel like you have a product or service that would be really good for our audience. If you have an organization and you have maybe 10 people in your sales team or in your office that you really think could benefit from this, call me and let's talk about some group rates. We want as many people to experience this. This is an experience. We want people to grow. We believe that Colorado Springs is about to become the entrepreneurial hub of America, and events like this are going to make that happen. Colorado Springs we will surpass Denver in size in the next few years. This is still a small town mindset in the good ways. We lift each other up as business owners in this town. We do not tear each other down. So support the community by showing up. We are also supporting a nonprofit called Shepherd Revolution. The fall of 2024, it will be open, and it is a school to teach kids leadership skills, shepherding skills, starting at 5 years old. We're going to raise up leaders starting at 5 years old in this community, and you can be a part of that on the ground floor. So we're raising funds for them as well.
You see, like he said just at the beginning, it's not about me. He's always thinking about building others and community to the higher levels and consciousness. So I love you, Michael, for that. And thank you so much. And it's just the beginning. Yeah? It's just the first conference that I'm unconditional is gonna continue every single year. So this is just the first conference, and I really hope to see everyone there, because you can be the pioneer with us. On May 19, 2022, go to imunconditional.com, get your ticket, or do us a favor and share it with your friends and family who you believe could benefit from it.
That's right.
Yeah. Anything else?
That's all. I'm excited to see
All
everybody
right.
there.
So, Michael, let's say it together. Be
Unconditional.
unconditional. Yeah.
We'll see you guys there.
All right. Thank you so much for being here with me, and everyone. Again, please share this message with others, because we need your support, and people who are there need our support. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful day. See you next time.
See you, Beata.